Hello and welcome back to the recap show. This is Traitors Season 4, Episode 6. Yeah. But before we get into it, run the intro.
I go, I drop. When I trip, I pop. When I go,
Welcome back for another episode of the recap show. We're talking about Traitors. And this episode, episode 6, was very interesting.
It was spicy. Now that I'm thinking about it.
It was a little spicy. And something happened in the middle of the show that I did not expect from a traitor. But we'll get into it. What do y'all feel about this episode this week?
This episode, like I said, it was spicy. It was a mess. Colton has to go.
Yeah.
They need to take their opportunity to kill this man and get him off the show because he's clearly a problem. Whereas last week, when I kind of had empathy for the whole Michael situation, looking back at it now, it's like, sir, Colton gotta go.
He needs to be murdered.
Child, string him up. Like, send him home to pasture. Like, just, I can't.
I don't know. I have a feeling he'll be there for a minute.
Unfortunately, because he's one of those people who he gives me those type of people where everything just works out for him.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though.
Of course, he's a cisgender white man.
That's semi-attractive.
Femi. And he literally said, if y'all don't take me out, I'm going to take a shield at every given moment.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He might be there for a while.
So here's the other thing. I don't know if you guys are following any of this that's going on social media. There's a lot of people that are one, hating on him. Two, I believe production for Traitors actually had to put out a statement saying that we value all of our players and this is just a game. And basically to tone down the rhetoric a little bit because they're hating on him.
Well,
he's even kind of withdrawn from removed some stuff from social media because he wasn't called out on something that he had done in the past as far as being verbally abusive to someone. So it's interesting. I wanted to see him go since last week. He should have went home last week. And honestly, if what didn't happen in the round table this week, he should have gone home as well. But before we get to all that, let's start off with who came to the breakfast room this week. So, as we already know, no one went home because no one took the immunity shield from the previous week, which I was actually found very shocking.
I was shocked too.
I thought that at least one group took it, and that would have made meant four people were safe, and then everyone else was up for elimination. But that was not the case. No one took the immunity shields, and no one was murdered. Everyone showed up for breakfast, and it seems like everyone got some smoked salmon this week.
But then,
well, no one complained about it
because they do be complaining.
That was the first question when I think Mara was the first.
Yeah,
question. That was the first
salmon.
question. Oh, said, there's salmon here, then there's salmon down at the other end. This salmon must be good.
It must be because I want some.
That's what they say, child.
But anyway.
There was something I was about to say. I just lost the train of thought, though. It was about somebody.
Come on, get on that train.
I don't know. We can move on.
All right. So this week's challenge was
they were in the cabin in the woods, and they had to figure out the clues that were presented to them via poltergeist or the screaming lady in the corner. Or, the little Ouija board moment in the beginning when the thing was moving around the table and then the people bust through the window and the bugs are real. That was so disgusting.
Yes, the maggots and the cockroaches or whatever they were.
The bugs were real or nasty. But Candace and whomever went outside with her, they were the only ones that got the clue wrong. But that wasn't their fault. Yeah. They went off of what everyone else thought.
Yeah.
And they just ran out.
Well, the other thing, they did not hear the last part. They were already outside the cabin when they said
they realized it was black. Clark.
Right now, they could have banked a possible $18,000. They banked 15 out of that 18, which still wasn't bad. They're really banking some money on this show.
Yeah, they
So
are.
whoever wins is going to get some money.
I feel like this was the first challenge they didn't get the full prize.
Maybe.
I think this was
Maybe.
the first challenge they didn't get the full prize on.
He's deep in thought.
Something about the whole Louise Clark, Louise Black thing. It's rubbing me the wrong way.
Why?
It seems improbable. Like, so the name was like you had to the names the letters in the names were scrambled, right?
Mm-hmm.
How would you have gotten Clark from Black?
Because it was literally one letter. No, it wouldn't have been one letter off. And honestly, I feel like there was an R there, and that's why they figured out it was Clark.
And but there was also a tombstone with Louise Clark. So I'm like, was this set up for something? Because it's
no. If you notice it, think about it. A lot of the there were for each one, I think there were 2 tombs, and most of them there were like one. They were one name off. So
right.
that wasn't the only one. So
no, I know that.
Oh,
those made sense. This one just did not.
Oh,
because this was something that you had to, like, given the letters, you had to figure out the name. I don't know how you would have gotten Clark
out of Black
unless you saw like CLK and you would have thought Clark, but that still would have been a coincidence because there wouldn't have been a Louise Clark tombstone.
There was a Louise Clark.
There was, though.
But that's what I'm saying. If someone just made a mistake and said Clark, there wouldn't have been a Louise Clark tombstone.
I don't know.
It to me, it just it's something about that's just not sitting right with me. But anyway,
I think they had they had CLAK. So they were missing the R or the B.
Yeah.
So I think the CLAK, somebody just assumed Clark, and that's why they ran.
And there was, maybe so.
Yeah.
Well, whatever the case, they actually did pretty good on this challenge. They do really well on their challenges, I will say that. And like I said, they've been really banking a lot of money. They made 15 out of 18,000. And no one took the shields from.
Even though Jam Jam really, what is it with Jam Jam and these shields? Like, he's so focused, he's so determined that he's going to be murdered for whatever reason. But nobody has ever really said his name outside of Michael.
You know, I don't know. Like, I get that. Like, he's dealing with a lot of trauma, and he just wants that security blanket.
But like, why? Like, it's like, sir, calm down. Like
every challenge,
challenge, he's so
like, I want the shield
on, but not even the shield of it all. He's so hyper focused on the fact that he thinks he's going to go home. Like, for some reason, every episode he says, "Oh, they're going to send me home." But literally, nobody at the round table ever says his name. The Traitors never say his name. The only time his name was brought up was when Michael was in the castle. I think Tiffany did say it at one point. Yeah, but they were the only two. Everybody else was kind of just like, nobody mentions this man. So what are you so paranoid about? I don't understand his paranoia.
Maybe he thinks like he'll be a random kill by by the Traitors or something.
But by that logic, everybody kill.
Yeah. I don't know. You're right. I mean, he wants a shield, and I don't know.
Anyway, we get to the round table. And this is where prior to the round table.
Before that,
Colton pulls Lisa aside and tells her. He pretty much tells her to her face, "I know you're a traitor." He tells her, "If you protect me at the round table, I'll protect you too." And Lisa is not doing a very good job at acting in this moment, but
kind of did.
Like, she basically told him, "You're barking up the wrong tree." And then there's also a separate group. There's Kristen, Tara, Mark, Johnny, and Mara. They're in a room saying, "Hey, if we have 8 votes, we can control the table." Yeah. And the consensus was to get Colton out. So I don't understand how it flicked at the table again. Like, what are
Me
y'all
neither.
doing?
Well, here's the thing. I think part of the problem was that if Ron didn't try to sacrifice himself, people would have went with Colton.
But even in that, because at the table, it got to the point where everyone was like, wait, I don't think Ron is a traitor. Everybody had the same mind of, I don't think it's Ron. Everybody was going around saying, yeah, I don't think it's Ron. So now you have your target. Because even Johnny had a smirk on his face.
Yeah.
Because he thought, okay, this is the moment we're about to get Colton out. But for some reason, everybody either voted Ron or Lisa. How did you let this man again
escape?
So and Candace even called him out again. She said, here we go again.
You are doing it again.
We're doing it again.
Yeah. So here's the thing. All right, first thing, I think Johnny now is in trouble. He in danger, girl. Next week, I think so. Because he spearheaded this.
I don't think anybody's going to throw him under the bus in that way.
I think so.
Why?
I think so. Because here's the thing, like, everyone was everyone, before they got back to the house, everyone was focused that they're going to vote on Ron and get him out the game. They just need to get him out the game now, whether they're right or wrong, because he's just been the focus for too long, and he's now becoming a distraction. So when they get to the house, they're like, all right, you know what? Let's look at Colton, because he's done the same thing that Ron has done, but no one's called him out on it. He always shifts the conversation and kind of bullies everybody into who he wants to eliminate. And they're over it. And then the fact that she said 8 is the majority. If we can get 8 people to agree to get him out, he'll be gone. And I think that they had convincing arguments, and they were going into that round table to get rid of Colton. And then maybe about halfway through, Ron was like, well, look, I know I'm going home, so I'm saying my goodbyes to all of you, basically. And it's just like, dude, why are you doing this?
But even still, in that moment, he got through to a couple people because they were saying, I don't think Ron's the traitor.
He did, but I think the thing that threw everything off, which I don't think we didn't even see it, because of the fact that Colton once again, in the moment, threw Lisa into the mix.
Especially when he said before the round table that he was just going to vote for Ron. So why even bring up Lisa?
But that's my point.
But he manipulated the table.
He did.
Once again.
And this is what threw everything off, because no one had Lisa on their lips. No one had Lisa on their mind beside him. And, it could have just been between Ron and Colton. And if it was between Ron and Colton, everyone was going to pick Colton. And I think he saw that. I will say this, he's playing the game very smart. I think he saw the writing on the wall when everyone was just like, well, I don't think Ron's the traitor. I don't think he is. And once that happened, all of a sudden, he's just like, well, you know what? Lisa's a traitor.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came with his evidence, and here's the thing. He's not wrong.
But no, I feel like his evidence is BS. And the reason why I say that is because he's so focused on wanting Lisa to be the housewife Lisa.
That part.
That's literally the only evidence that he presented. He didn't present any type of gameplay. He didn't mention anything about how she is in the house. He wants Lisa to be a housewife. And Lisa even told him, I am not just a housewife. Before Housewives, I was Lisa effing Renna.
Yeah.
So his evidence about, oh, you're not the same here as you are on Housewives is complete BS. And the fact that got enough people to vote for her, I think is ludicrous.
All right. So here is the plot twist that I don't think anybody saw. One of the traitors turned on another traitor. But I was shocked in the very beginning, but then we had paused it and watched something else and then came back to it. And in that pause that we took,
we watched my show.
Yes, we watched his show.
Thank you.
Which show was that?
My Wait What podcast.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
When I came back, I said, you know what? Maybe what he did wasn't so bad, because of the fact that now I think that because the heat was on Lisa, he had to throw it off a little bit. And by him, quote unquote, voting for her to be voted off, it would take the heat off of all the traitors in a way. Now, I think what happens, of course, they vote ahead of revealing who they voted for. So it's not like you can say, all right, well, they voted for her, so I'm not going to vote for her. He figured, let me just vote for her. No one's really going to look at Lisa. No one's going to vote her off. I don't think he thought that the vote would be that close.
Mm-hmm.
Because literally, it was almost like a 3-way tie. Whoever got the next vote was going to go home. And Lisa was this close to being voted out.
Well, I think it was down to Mark. So if Mark voted for either Lisa or Colton, it would have been a 2-way tie. But because he voted for Ron, then yeah.
So, Rob, on one hand, I think he strategically voted for Lisa because I think he didn't think that she would be banished because everyone, or she wouldn't get the majority vote or whatever.
Right.
But on the other hand, he was getting on my nerves because he's like, I want Ron to stay and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you're a traitor, sir. Like, if you were a faithful, this getting emotional will be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Rob is now getting emotional. He's letting his emotions start to color how he's playing the game, which could ultimately be his downfall and possibly everybody's downfall. Like, he's becoming a weak link because for you to be like, I like him and blah, 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 blah. And okay, so sure, you like Ron, you don't want him to leave. What if I vote for Colton?
Because he kept saying Colton is his closest ally. So to your point too, he is trying to play as a faithful as a traitor.
Yeah.
Like, you can't
It's not serving
be both. You can't be both.
Exactly.
And I think he's reached the crossroads in the game where he would rather be a faithful. But unfortunately, sir, you have to play the hand that you're dealt, and you're a traitor.
Yes.
And the thing is, a couple seasons, I don't know if it was last season or a season before, a couple seasons ago, Dan did the same exact thing to Phaedra. Dan is from Big Brother. Obviously, Phaedra's from Housewives. Dan threw Phaedra under the bus. They were both traitors.
Okay.
But Dan was trying to make himself look like a faithful to continue being a traitor, and Phaedra ended up going home. So Rob did the same thing to Lisa that Dan did to Phaedra. The only difference is Lisa didn't go home.
And so, of course, the episode ends where we don't know what the interaction is between. Like, they had a conversation and it started getting heated, but we don't know what happened.
So did Kristen and who else? So Kristen and somebody else were walking past the kitchen.
Johnny.
But they both stopped.
Yep.
And went back in the other direction. So did they hear the conversation between the traitors?
We don't know.
Here enters my theory of what might happen next week.
Okay.
At this banquet. So yes, Kristen and somebody else, they walked past the room and then they came back, and it seemed like they were kind of eavesdropping. So they seemed like they were eavesdropping on the traitors' conversation. Although I don't think we know if that's exactly what was happening. Like, they could have been eavesdropping on somebody else's conversation, if that makes sense. But if they were eavesdropping on the traitors' conversation,
they're in trouble.
What could happen at this banquet is Kristen and whoever else, they overheard Kristen and Johnny, they overheard the traitors. So they now know who all three traitors are. They get with all the other faithfuls and tell them, we know who the faithfuls, we know who the traitors are, but let's not say anything. Let's wait till we get to the banquet. We all turn on the traitors. I could see that happening. So it's almost like I don't know if y'all watched Game of Thrones, but that moment where Sansa and Arya, it looked like Sansa was about to, I think, execute Arya, but then they turn on Lord Baelish. I feel like it could be that type of moment. So I'm like,
All we do know is that Alan, is that his name? I was about to call him Nightcrawler. All we do know is Alan said that the greatest moment in Traitors history happens on episode 7.
And he's been
He
promoting
said
it.
it's complete
Yeah.
chaos.
Yeah.
And from the preview, you got people running around the table. you
Running,
got people
yelling,
yelling
yeah.
at each other. So something crazy does
Yeah.
happen.
I can't wait for next week.
Yeah, we also learned that the Traitors have to kill someone in plain sight.
Yes.
They are
Uh-huh.
given a
In front of
brooch.
everybody
Yeah,
else.
in front of they're given a brooch. Someone has to wear the brooch, and they have to
And
get
we
one
know-
of the faithfuls to touch the brooch.
And we know who's wearing the brooch.
Lisa is going to wear the brooch.
Yeah.
And I don't think that would be difficult to do, though.
I said the same thing. So here's my theory on that. Like, giving Lisa the brooch, I think that, to be honest with you, is either going to be a woman who wants to touch it first
Right.
or Johnny.
Yeah.
Because that's in his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
That-
Like, I feel
he's
like
very
that's
flashy.
if all they have. So I don't know if we know the rules yet. Does a faithful have to touch it or wear it?
Yeah, a faithful has to touch it.
To
So like
touch
my
it.
thing is that's
Yeah.
something that's actually very easy that that can happen naturally because
Very.
if everybody walks in and everybody's all dressed up for
Yeah.
the gods
Yes.
and everybody's like, oh, this is really nice, like everybody's interacting, that will be
Yeah.
something that happens naturally and something that doesn't have to be forced. But if Lisa tries to force the situation,
That's
gonna
going to be
make it-
problem.
Yeah, no, but so here's
Yeah.
the thing, though. I think what she can do to not make it seem obvious is because everyone's so dressed to the nines, go around and just like, oh my God, I love what you have on. And like, be
Yeah.
touchy-feely with other people.
Yeah.
Allow them to say, all right, I'm open to being touched. I know that sounds a little weird, but I mean, if you're going around and doing this to other people and say, oh, that's beautiful, whatever, you're allowing people to say, all right, well, I'm open to that as well.
yeah.
Or you could just be like, Lisa could sit down at the table, be pruning herself, take it off. Let's say she's sitting next to Dorinda or somebody, or
Drop it.
and not even drop. That's also a very good thing to do too. But that might be a little bit too obvious as well. Just take it off and just make up a story. Oh, because she always talks about her husband, Harry, whatever. Don't you like look at this brooch that Harry got me, blah, blah, blah. I love it, blah, blah. And all of a sudden the person has touched it. It could be so easy to do, but I feel like they're going to flub it up some kind of way. I have a second theory.
Okay.
Come on, conspiracy.
Were you waiting for the balloons?
I was not.
No.
I was not.
Because he did this and like
Yeah.
paused. And so it's like, were you waiting for the
I
balloons?
I wasn't.
No, it's fine.
What if there was another secret traitor installed after Donna left?
And they just didn't tell us?
Mm-hmm. What if
Well, we
there's
didn't
another
know
secret
who Donna
traitor that's been working and that might be revealed later? I thought about that maybe like the other day. I was
What
like,
if it's
what if there's
Colton?
another
Maybe.
traitor? That's what I'm saying. What if it's like somebody like Colton? Or, so I saw some clip where somebody was talking about like the two people who like got up from the banquet table and were running were Tara and I don't know the lady's name. She's a brown lady.
Oh, the one that had
Natalie.
the black
Natalie.
the black cat suit on.
Natalie. Yeah, her. Like,
Awful.
what if like what if it's one of them or something? I don't know.
She's been kind of quiet too, though.
Natalie?
Yeah.
Well, her and Tara.
Both
Like,
of
I
them.
feel like there are like 3 people who like have no place in the show. Natalie, Tara, and Mark. It's like, why
Yes.
are y'all here? Because it's like,
Mark.
I feel
No
like
one
they
says
don't.
their name.
I feel like nobody. Maybe
Yeah.
they're just playing the best game ever and flying completely under the radar. Because the more no one talks about you, the longer you last in the game, and you have the opportunity to make it to the end.
Well, wait a
So-
minute. What if there's a whole nother set of traitors that no one knows?
Well, I mean,
That would be a lot.
I feel like that would be a lot. Yeah, that would
be a lot. I feel like another secret traitor. I think that might be clutch. I could see that happening though, especially with these 3 that don't nobody ever talk about. Mark, I'm assuming I know what Mark looks like because when he walked into
hair.
breakfast.
Yeah, the curly
hair.
the long curly
Oh
hair.
no, I was thinking about the other white dude.
Steve.
Is he the one? I guess. But he's the white dude that don't nobody say nothing about. Like he walked into
one?
breakfast after nobody was killed.
Steve.
And he had on like the sweater, and somebody said, "Oh,
The
I like
sweater.
your
Yeah,
sweater."
that's Steve. Yeah.
When he walked in, I was like, "Who is this?" Like, I don't
He
never think about that man.
Remember the first episode when they had to do the boats, and he was
Yes.
like, "Oh, I row every weekend." That was him.
Like, when I see him, I remember his face, but I always forget that he's there.
He's very nonchalant.
Yeah,
I always forget that he's there.
He doesn't really talk much.
He doesn't. He doesn't really get much camera time at all.
He don't. That's why
he doesn't talk in the round table.
So I guess there are four.
There's four.
Yeah, there's four people that like have like no place amongst everybody else. Because like
there could be another secret traitor.
It's given. Why are you here? Yeah.
Very interesting. So the episode ends where there. I think Lisa puts on. No,
they're in their rooms.
Right, but before that, they show them in the turret, talking about how no one was going to be murdered, and then about the banquet coming up.
Yeah.
Which at first it took me a second to realize that was taped before all of this.
Yeah.
They inserted that piece afterwards. So, it's going to be a very interesting episode next week. I'm really excited and want to see what happens because, like I said, Alan Cummings has been on quite a few shows after the Thursday show aired, talking about this next episode, and he's just like, out of the 4 seasons I've been doing this, I've never seen anything like this before, and it's going to be interesting.
Do we know how many episodes there are going to be?
So I believe there's.
I want to say 10.
Well, hold on, I had it pulled up too. Let me pull it up. I know the last show was like the 21st or something.
February.
Yeah.
Okay. And while you do that, damn them for getting me accustomed to multiple episodes a week and then just giving me one.
Yeah.
That's real fucked up. How dare you?
All right, so here we go. What was today?
So there are 10 episodes and then a reunion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to get one episode for the rest of the remainder of this, and the season finale and reunion special is February 26th. So wait, I guess, is the finale typically the reunion, or is there a finale then a reunion?
Yeah, it's a finale. So you'll find.
So it's 2 episodes.
It's a finale and reunion.
So that means it's 2 episodes in, right? That's what I'm asking.
Oh, I don't know.
Do they tie them together? How do they normally do it?
I don't remember.
Oh,
maybe
so
it's
there's
a two-parter.
It might be that. Well,
I think it is I think it is one long episode. Like we see who
it
wins.
is because they called out each multiple episodes.
Yeah, so we see who wins and the reunion all in the same episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's technically 11 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that is February 26th. And I think they did this the way they did it this year is because of the Olympics. The Olympics is on NBC/Peacock. So they're working around the Olympic schedule.
When do they start?
Olympics start February 6th, I believe, is opening ceremonies. So in 2 weeks.
I just like the half pipe thing where they
So
flip the soundboard
song.
thing. And
I haven't watched the Olympics and God knows when. Maybe
I
watch
love the Olympics. Winter Olympics, Summer Olympics. I love them all.
Anyway, that's Traitors.
That is Traitors.
That's Traitors.
Anything else before we wrap this bitch up, as they say?
Make sure y'all stream and watch the Wait What podcast. Watch it on YouTube or listen to it wherever you stream your podcast, except for Apple. For some reason, still Apple is trash and it's not working. But anywhere else, thank y'all for watching and listening as you have been so far. It's been great. And you might see a special guest on Saturday's episode. So
next Saturday
for that. Yeah.
Oh, teaser. Okay.
I wonder who that could
anything
be.
Anything, TJ?
I'm just gonna say down with Colton.
Yes, Graham. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sick of him.
All right.
Sick of him.
Sick of him.
Sickening. Don't forget, guys, hit the subscription, to share, to like, to comment. And don't forget to hit the notification button so you can get notified every time we drop new videos. New videos for this recap show of Traitors drops every Wednesday at noon Eastern Standard Time. And of course, Drag Race, a new episode drops every Monday at 8 a.m. So until then, everyone have a great rest of the week and weekend, and we'll see you back here next week. Deuces.
Bye.
I go, I drop. When I trip, I pop.